What's up, YouTube? Destination Kings Athletics coming at you from beautiful sunny Southern California. Today's video, Machine Gun Silva, guys. Machine Gun Silva in the building. Today we're going to talk about Lonzo Ball and why he's not, and I repeat it, he's not a bust. Let's get to it. All right, guys. So as my intro, you heard it. Destination Kings Athletics, Machine Gun Silva, and we're going to let you guys know why Lonzo Ball is not a bust. And so here we go. So when he was at UCLA, we both thought that he was a good player, not a franchise player, and we both thought that he'd be a good NBA player. Maybe not a lotto pick, but for some odd reason, he became a lotto pick, and he allegedly is a franchise player. But in our opinion, we're going to kind of break it down a little bit why we don't think he's a bust. He might not be a franchise player, but he's definitely not a bust. Bust comes from the fact that everybody's building him to be a franchise player. Everybody's building him to be the next coming of Magic. Magic himself gave him the keys to the franchise. He said, this is going to be our future, which he wasn't there to begin. He didn't have the talent to be that anyway. So I think it's just a mistaken identity for him. His dad had a big deal for him being a franchise player. What do you think, Eddie?
Well,
Machine Gun Silva.
It's pretty obvious that the Lakers are in pursuit of a franchise player, a face.
Everybody
Ever
is,
since
right?
we lost Kobe, we're looking for somebody. Somebody's got to fill that role. So Magic, obviously, he tagged Lonzo as a franchise, more like the face of the Lakers.
Face of the Lakers. Before he even playing.
Before he even played a game in the NBA. The thing about Lonzo, everybody knows that he advances the ball really well.
He's got talent. He's tall. He's got talent.
He's 6'6", and he's got a tight dribble, and he's got some lipping ability.
He's athletic.
Now, but there is 100 players in the NBA that can do exactly what he does. So he doesn't do anything that is extraordinary. Okay, so he's not a dominating point guard. He hasn't developed his
with the
jump
dribble.
shot.
He's not a dominating dribble point guard with the dribble. He's more of a pass guy, like a hot potato kind of guy.
He's a guy that advances the ball. Now anybody can learn how to advance the ball. So for him to be tagged as a franchise player is probably shooting too high there.
But the bust part
of it, he's not a
bust
no,
because he's not a franchise player to begin with. So the actual title, franchise player, he's not. No matter what anybody says, but to be a bust, you got to be something that he doesn't fulfill his potential, which we think he can fulfill his potential.
I think he can be an average player in the NBA. I think that it's going to take maybe 3 to 4 years to develop. And there's nothing wrong with playing in the NBA
for
as an average player.
15 years making money. You're talking about like Raymond Felton. Raymond Felton, he's been in the league for God knows how long.
There's a lot of players
still collecting the check.
Yeah, there's a lot of players that play for a long time that are really not franchise players. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But to tag somebody like him as a franchise player or the face of a
even when he's never touched the NBA basketball,
that's ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
That's Magic's fault.
So why is he not a bust? Tell me why he's not a bust.
The guy is 6. Well, they list him as 6'6".
Well,
he's got some tools.
Well, he's never been. He's not a franchise player. Let's get that straight. So the expectations are just too high.
Expectations are too high.
Way too high. So he should be a guy that you're hoping to come in and you can plug in for the next 15 years.
That would be great if he can be a solid point guard. First of all, the point guard position is very hard to play in the NBA. So if you can find somebody that can play the point guard for 10 to 15 years, man, that's tough. You got to guard them small little guards that are out there quick as hell. Every year there's new guards, new talent coming in. So you got to be really good to sustain 15 years.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. And he's got the tools. He's got the height, and he's got the body, so he can develop all those things that we talk about. His jump shot, his lack of understanding of how to run an offense, all that stuff he can develop. But that doesn't mean that he's going to be above average or an all-star or whatever. Now, he may have a good year. That's great, but I think his potential is definitely. I would agree with him being at least 10 to 15 year average player is good enough.
A good player.
10 to 15 points, maybe 5, 6, 7 assists, couple of steals. That's fine.
That's an awesome career, but definitely not a bust because expectations shouldn't be as high as they are. Expectations should not be Hall of Famer, the next Magic. That's just too high.
You put expectations like that on a Ben Simmons, somebody who's got the high, somebody who's got the potential. See, that's how you put that. That's how you tag a franchise player, somebody that you can obviously see. Now, this guy, he's not going to dominate the point guard position. No matter how long or how much he develops or whatever, he's never gonna be a dominant point guard in the NBA.
Never gonna be a
There's guards that are quicker. There's guards that can jump higher. It's just the kid is gonna be average, and that's fine.
That's awesome.
That's hard to do.
Yeah,
that's hard. That's very hard to do.
Longevity is the hardest thing to do in the NBA or football or anywhere.
You just can't walk into the NBA and dominate anyway. But if you can learn to be an average player, a team player throughout the years and develop yourself, that's excellent. That's a lot of money.
Career. You can
Still
have a
getting
long
them checks.
Career. Yes. And who knows? Maybe he'll be endorsed with somebody. But he's not a bust.
He's not a bust.
He's not a franchise, but he's definitely not a bust.
My thing is just to lower the expectations. He's not going to save the Lakers.
He's not going to save them.
As a matter of fact, I don't even think Magic's going to save the Lakers.
Yeah,
but
that's another video.
Talking about ball, man, we see his upside. He definitely has a lot of potential, a lot of talent. And but we don't see his talent being like LeBron's or Ben Simmons. We don't see that kind of talent.
He doesn't have overwhelming talent.
He doesn't have overwhelming talent or athletic ability or anything. So, having said that, we feel that he's going to be a great guard.
A good solid guard.
Good solid guard in the NBA.
But not a bust.
Not a bust.
Not a bust. Bust is something that everybody else has created. Magic's created it by giving him the moniker of savior of the Lakers. His dad's created by saying he's better than Curry. The media's created it, but in reality, the talent is not there to be a superstar, which is nothing wrong with that. But he's not a bust. Everybody keeps telling him he's a bust. He's not a bust.
The one thing we haven't seen from Lonzo is that we don't know what his work ethic is like yet. He's only been out of college, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, 5 months, and so we still don't know what he's going to develop into. We saw Curry when he came in the league. He struggled a little bit, but you can just see that guy was going to put the ball up. He was going to shoot, and he was going to get better.
He's a blank canvas.
So, he's a blank canvas. So we're waiting to see what his upside is and how hard he works at his craft. And then we'll see from there. But obviously, 1 to 2 year right now, like I said, we still see him as right now he's below average.
He's a project.
He's below average point guard. And if he can move up to average, there's nothing wrong with that.
Guys, but he's not a bust. Stop saying that he's a bust, because he's not a bust.
He's not a bust.
He's not a superstar, but he's definitely not a bust. Like I said, bust is created by the people who give him the franchise player tag or the next coming of Magic tag. He's not that either, but he's definitely not a bust. Guys, beautiful sunny Southern California, Machine Gun Silva. He's definitely not a bust, guys. Destination Kings Athletics. YouTube me, man. Check it out on YouTube. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of it. Destination Kings Athletics, guys. Let me know what you guys think.